Hi, welcome to the RV Podcast. My name is Pilar.
And my name is Ryan.
And tonight we'll be discussing the 2008 homoerotic horror thriller starring Tobey Maguire and Kirk Lazarus, Satan's Alley.
Satan's Alley tells the tale of a 13th century monk who chooses forbidden love. Tonight, we are tricking you and treating you because this is our Halloween special, which we are calling our
Spooktacular.
Because we will be reviewing not one, not two, not three, not
We're going to be reviewing 6 movies.
6.
Yes, 6.
6 movies. All of which we have watched in anticipation of this episode. We know it can be tough to kind of choose what movie to watch when you're
trying to get into spooky feels.
Yeah, you want just the right kind of spookiness.
Right.
So we decided to kind of narrow it down for you and help you with your decision. All right, so yeah, let's get into it here.
So these are the 6 movies we watched in the order that we watched them.
Yeah, and I'm gonna put the timestamps up.
So if you just want to skip onto that movie, if you're curious, you can go ahead and do that.
Yeah. So the first movie we watched it on Netflix. Mm-hmm. This was an option for you guys to vote on it during some episode.
And y'all didn't vote on it.
It's His House.
His House. The second movie that we watched was another movie that you could have voted on.
But you guys didn't vote for it.
So we just went ahead and watched it anyways. And this movie is Suspiria. It came out in 2018.
Yeah, we watched the remake of Suspiria.
Yes, the remake.
Yeah.
And we watched that on Amazon Prime.
Yes. Then we were trying to figure out what we wanted to watch next. And we watched a movie that we own that... You have not seen it.
I'd never seen it.
You had never seen it. I had seen it a long time ago. The Blair Witch Project. I think it's a classic. Came out in 1999.
1999?
Yeah.
Damn, that's old.
Damn.
And then the fourth movie was another movie I've been wanting to watch for so long, and it is Jennifer's Body. It came out in 2009, and we had it. I just was waiting for the right time.
Yes. Yes. And then we thought we should go to the movies. We should go to the theater. Mm-hmm. And there's a movie that looks really intriguing.
Yeah, and fantastical.
Called Lamb. That we did watch in theaters.
And we'll give you that review for that.
Yeah.
And lastly, I watched Halloween for the first time, I think last year? Yeah, 2 years ago.
Was it last year?
I think it was last year.
Yeah.
And I fell in love with it. I've never been scared by a movie before. And damn, is that movie scary. So I was ready to get scared again. So we watched Halloween 2.
Back at it again.
And Ryan got Sling TV. And that's how we were able to watch it.
Thanks,
Sling.
It's on demand on Sling.
Not sponsored.
So for each of these movies, we're just going to go in the order in which we watched them. We're going to kind of give... not a full review, but like our impressions of them, mm-hmm. And we're gonna rate them, and of course we're gonna tell you how scary they are.
We're gonna go through these movies dream style. We're gonna speed run these movies.
Dream style.
Yeah, like Dream the Twitch YouTube guy who Minecraft.
We're speed running. These.
Yeah, we're speed running these movies. Movie 1.
His House. All right. His House came out in 2020. Mm-hmm. It's directed by Remy Weeks.
It is a Netflix original,
yes.
So you can always watch it there.
Yeah, he wrote and directed it. His debut,
mm-hmm.
I guess. It is about a refugee couple from South Sudan who is haunted by their past, quite literally, when a night witch follows them to their assigned English residence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. I'm pretty sure I watched this, or I saw this movie on another movie review without really, that didn't spoil the movie, so I was really excited to see it. I thought it was going to be like Us, because I felt like most of the trailers kind of, framed it to look like Us.
Okay.
So I was expecting that kind of film, but when we watched it, it was way more than that, and it wasn't even close to that, actually.
Yeah, I didn't watch any trailers on it. I thought, just based on the poster, he's like sitting at the table and the wall is kind of broken apart.
Right.
I thought it was going to be almost like Mother or something like that.
Yeah.
But it was so much better than that.
Yeah. To me, I would say it resembled more of a Babadook kind of film, but less annoying.
Okay. This movie, I hate Babadook. Babadook is a joke of a movie. This movie is not a joke. It is very good. I thought it was just like an amazing directorial debut.
Yes.
It's pretty classic horror.
Mm-hmm.
As far as like scariness goes.
Yeah, I was definitely terrified by some of the visuals that was in this film. I was definitely traumatized by this movie. I think it tells a beautiful story and it grains a lot of interesting like cultural values that this South Sudan family has.
Yeah.
While also kind of telling a scary story about immigration and assimilation, while also displaying like classic horror, like you were talking about, like true nightmares.
That is intertwined with like authentic cultural beliefs, I guess. Mm-hmm. I think it's really smart.
Yeah, it was really smart. The visuals, even it has quite a bit of CGI in it, and I think they were pretty well done for this small debut kind of movie.
Oh yeah.
I was very terrified by it, way more than I thought I was going to be.
Yeah.
But yeah, do you have any other aspects that you want to talk about?
Yeah, I mean, just to list my notes here, I love how like self-aware the characters are. Mm-hmm. So typically in a horror movie, something horrible is happening and the main character is just in denial.
It's just like
they're like, no, this isn't actually happening to me.
Right.
But both of these characters, Bull, the man,
the husband,
the husband and his wife, Rial,
yeah.
They are both fully aware of this witch in their house, mm-hmm. and
they both have separate relationships with the witch. I hate to really spoil this movie at all because it's so beautiful and it's so like I want people to watch it, but also it's like okay. So Bull is not oblivious to the ghost that is haunting his surroundings. He just chooses to ignore it in order to like fit in. While his wife Rial, she is reminiscing on her cultural life back in South Sudan, and is missing her family and her culture around her. So she sort of embraces this witch that has followed them because it reminds her a lot of home.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
So it's kind of like their struggles between assimilating and keeping their culture in their hearts. I think one of my favorite scenes is when they're eating dinner and that Rial prepares, and it's beautiful. And they're sitting on the floor, and she is eating her, I don't know, I believe it's like some sort of bread with like rice or something.
Yeah.
With her hands, and her husband's like, "Oh, this is beautiful. Thank you so much for cooking." And then he goes to the kitchen and brings a fork and knife.
Yeah. And
she's like, "What is this?" And he's like, "So you can eat your dinner." And she's like, "All I taste is the metal." Yeah. And I think that's like, I don't know, that's very significant of how he's trying to become part of this English culture using utensils, while also trying to have his wife embrace it. Like he's not forcing her, but he's kind of introducing to these things to her.
Yeah.
Hoping that she'd catch on.
Yeah. As far as the scariness goes, mm-hmm. The thing that really stood out to me about this movie is typically if a character changes their surroundings in some way, mm-hmm. if they see a ghost and they turn on the light, like the ghost is gone.
Oh God, yes.
But not in this movie.
Oh God, yeah. It's like you're either haunted by one ghost and you turn off the light, or you're haunted by like a million other ghosts. Like there's no on and off. It's like worse or worse.
Overall, I thought the message of the movie is kind of like you can never escape your ghost, and you just have to accept kind of your past.
Yes.
And I feel like no matter what your real upbringing is or anything like that, I feel like that's a very relatable thing in this movie.
Like in order to get past something traumatizing, you kind of just have to accept that it's part of your life now, and then you can just move on from there.
So what did you rate this movie, Blair?
Oh shit, my first? Okay, so I really enjoyed this movie way more than I thought I was gonna do. The actors,
you cried.
I did cry. I cried really hard. And the actors, I think, were fantastic. Even Matt Smith. I typically don't like Matt Smith, but I think he was like the comedy. He was like the comic relief of this film.
Yeah.
Barely, but it was good. So I rated this movie a 9.0.
Oh, okay, nice.
I think it was a really good movie.
I struggled with the rating on all of these movies, honestly.
Yes.
But this was one of the tougher ones because I was like, there's nothing wrong with this movie. It's so good. But I was looking at some of the other ratings for movies that we've reviewed. Yeah. And I'm like, it's not quite as good as Black Swan. Like,
okay.
It's just like there's two different levels of movie going on almost. But I'm going to give it a little higher than you. I give it a 9.4.
Oh, dang. That's pretty good.
Yeah. Movie 2. Suspiria.
All right. So the plot is that an American girl enrolls in a very prestigious dance academy in divided Berlin, which happens to be
like owned and operated.
Yeah, owned and operated by a coven of witches.
Yes. This plot is crazy.
Yes, it is. One of the most out there movies I've seen, to where like I don't understand anything that's going on. Was it scary? Yeah.
So there's a couple different like layers of plot going on. So like the main plot.
It has 6 acts. 6? And then 1 epilogue.
Yes. I was waiting on Act 7 and it was just over. So the main plot surrounds this girl at a dance academy. And the dance academy is very strange.
One of their girls go missing.
Yeah. We know that she has kind of gone crazy.
Yes.
And then there's like a B plot where there's like this doctor who's trying to track down the missing girl. And then there's like some part of the plot that is never explained and has to do with like divided Berlin.
Right.
Like this is before the fall of the Berlin Wall, after World War II at some point. Right. I don't think we're told when exactly it is.
I think there's a year at the beginning.
Oh, maybe. But either way, if this could be set anywhere at any time.
Literally could happen to any place ever.
Except the epilogue.
Oh, is that where she goes to like tell him her story or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was really weird too. Like, I don't understand.
So it's like,
the
gist of the story is like, all these fucking men are to blame for the state of Germany or something.
Maybe.
Something like that.
Anyways, this man is played by Tilda Swinton.
Yeah, we had no idea. We were looking up the characters, getting ready for this, and I was like, wait, I don't even see the doctor on here because the doctor's fucking played by Tilda Swinton.
Yeah, this movie's really fucking weird.
Yeah.
So I guess to give a rundown. Dakota Johnson plays the American girl, Susie, who goes to this dance academy. And when she gets there, people are acting real weird because somebody's missing. And she's replacing the girl who's missing.
Yes.
And then it turns out that she is like incredible at dancing. Like, they were just like blown away.
Yeah, like there's Baby Doll, and then there's a Susie
girl.
girl.
Yeah, so we like to theorize that whatever Dakota Johnson was doing is what Baby Doll thought she was doing in Sucker Punch.
Yeah, that you never get to see in Sucker Punch.
Anyways, she has like some mystical powers because the leader of this dance academy are like witches.
Yeah.
So like the witches are like, oh, she's got like these fresh powers. Let's like give her some of our powers or something. And then she like, in I don't know, one of the first scenes, she's like contorting this girl's body. Like it makes no sense. Like I don't understand the witch lore in this. It's never explained. Yeah, I feel like nothing was explained. I mean, the dancing, once we actually got to see the dance, it was fucking sick.
What do you call that style of dance?
Contemporary? What's it? Yeah, it's contemporary.
Contemporary?
Freestyle?
Avant-garde? Is it just like...
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was really cool because they had these little red tattered, like, tassel kind of things that when they move, it'd be like...
Yeah. So the cinematography is really weird.
Uh-huh.
Because this movie was made in 2018.
But it looks disgusting.
It looks like it was fucking filmed in like West Berlin or some shit. Like,
right.
In
like...
the 70s. It looks terrible.
It looks disgusting. I mean, I think it has like some cool action shots. Like shot-wise, frame-wise, but like visually it just looks ugly. And it's just like they transfer their dreams and it's like this little fairy-like thing that's over Dakota Johnson's body and it's just like weird. Like why would you even include that?
The dreams.
Yeah, it's
so
weird.
Stupid. There's a lot of like unanswered details of the plot.
Yeah, and then we get to the end and it's like in a red filter and everybody's just exploding.
So here's a big spoiler for Suspiria. So Susie happens to be like
one of the witch mothers.
One of the
reborn.
One of the three main witch mothers who comes, and that's why she's so good at dancing.
Yeah.
And she just like summons this like demon who just goes around and starts pointing at everybody's head. Their head explodes.
Dude, this movie's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Would I recommend it?
I really like that though.
I don't know. I would probably never ever watch this movie.
Tom York did the fucking...
Yeah, Tommy York did
the soundtrack?
soundtrack to this movie.
I love Tom York. Like, I mean, Radiohead is my favorite.
Right.
Like, I have nothing bad to say about Tom York, but there's a time and a place, and this was not the movie.
Tom York, this was not the right film.
It was... Some of the scenes were so disjointed with Tom York's voice just wailing away.
I feel like my favorite scene is like during the dance. Sarah, who is like her Susie's closest friend, she fucking breaks her leg trying to escape because she finds out about the wishes and she's like trying to do some snooping and then they break her leg and then they regenerate her leg back to health and she's like dancing, but like the face that she has, she just looks like she's like in true horror but can't do anything about it, but she's dancing like...
Oh, I thought she was like not even there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like she's like, you know when people get like scared, like blank, I guess? You know?
Sure.
Okay, whatever.
Scared to death?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what she looked like.
Yeah. Also, Chloe Grace Moretz is in this movie at the beginning.
Why?
Yeah. Yeah, Tilda Swinton. She plays two of the witch mothers and the old man doctor.
Yeah, dude, I love Tilda Swinton. She's probably... Her and Dakota Johnson are probably the best part of this movie.
I mean, definitely.
I mean, it could have just been them two, and it would have been way better.
So, I gave this movie... It was very tough.
Okay.
Because I did like it. But overall, it was just
a mess.
It was a mess, dude. I didn't know what was going on, and it was kind of slow.
Yeah, it would.
It did have forever. It had a big payoff, but it took a long time to get there. I gave it a 6.9.
Wow. You want to know what mine is? I gave it a 3.2. Dude, in the areas it was lacking in for me, the plot. Originality, I gave it a 1 because it's just a remake of another movie, and all it did was make it longer. It made it an hour longer than the original.
Seriously?
Yeah, that's what it said on IMDb. Cinema, I already said that was dirt. The highest rating I have for it is the sound. Ooh. I think the music was really cool, and like the screaming was, on par.
Way to go, Tanya.
Nice. Movie 3. The Blair Witch Project.
Alright, so Blair Witch Project came out in 1999. It's about these 3 friends who are also like film students who set out to make a documentary on this like local urban legend of the Blair Witch. And they get lost in the woods and they kind of encounter a little bit more than they set out to. So this is like, I don't know if it's the first, but it's definitely like the biggest it's the first biggest like found footage movie. So I want to know how it like aged, because you've never seen it before.
I've never seen it, and honestly, I was really bored the whole time. First of all, it's about like camping. I hate camping.
You do hate camping, yes.
Second of all, dude, the lead girl, what's her name? Heather. She's fucking annoying.
Yeah.
She's like the worst person on earth.
I hate all 3 of these people.
Yeah, though she was the worst.
She was the worst.
I mean, what's his name? Josh? He wasn't that bad. Wait. Josh is the one who died first, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he wasn't that bad.
He was missing.
Right. Anyways, I feel like, to me, the payoff wasn't what I expected.
Okay.
I was expecting, like, more witch stuff to happen. Like, I don't know, like, they get marks on their bodies or something.
Okay.
I don't know. I would have liked to see like a figure in the distance.
Yeah.
Like something,
Yeah, it's tough. So, I'm trying to remember. I was a kid when it came out. Like I wasn't allowed to watch it because it was supposed to be supposed to be scary as shit, Yeah. And then I remembered when I did watch it, I was like, "Whoa, that was really scary." But then I was like forcing myself to think that.
Okay.
So I do remember a couple of parts. The creepiest parts from my memory are the like rock piles.
Okay.
They also like the fact that what's his name? Michael. He threw away the map. Like that's just bizarre to me.
Right.
Like he was like losing his mind.
Right.
There's that. The fact that they came up to the same spot that
the tree.
Yeah.
I feel like that would have been scary to me if I had paid attention to the tree the first time.
Yeah. Okay. And then finally the standing in the corner at the end of the movie.
That was kind of creepy because they like lead up to it.
Yeah, I remembered all 4 of those scenes very vividly.
The first time you watched it.
The first time I watched it. And rewatching it this time, I was like, okay, those are the only good moments in this movie.
Yeah. Most of it is like people crying or people yelling that they don't know where they're going, and like people filming leaves.
Yeah. So them coming up to the same spot, the same tree again, like it wasn't the same exact angle or anything. So, like, you really relied on them telling you that. Rather than seeing it yourself. I don't know. it did not age well for me.
I feel like if there was like some very distinctive like rock formation or something to tell that it, or like I don't know, like they're like, look at this branch, like it looks funny, like the first time, and then we're like, oh shit, it's the same damn branch that
Yeah. So in rewatching it, they're doing like these little interviews toward the beginning of the movie, and somebody just, it's like the most brief of interviews. This girl says like, oh yeah, he made one of his victims like stand in the corner because he didn't want to be watched murdering another or something like that. Right. And like, that's it. Like that's it.
Right.
That's the whole thing on the movie.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to miss, and it's not that big. It's not big enough to like have a payoff.
Right.
Once you know.
Oh yeah, one of the things that was really bothering us was how long they went without food.
Yes. They go a long time without eating. That's the last thing I put down.
And then just how long their battery life was. I'm assuming it's about 3 to 4 days.
Camera battery life is definitely called into question. That's what I wrote down.
Like, I mean, we can only film for fucking 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Before our camera dies. I really don't understand how they had, like, battery life.
Yeah.
For however long they were lost.
Yeah, like these shows today, like that Alone show, like they have a huge case full of just camera batteries.
Right.
That they get dropped off with. The Ghost Adventures crew has like a whole truck full of camera batteries that they use.
Right.
Like,
it makes no sense how they were able to film all of this.
Yeah. All of that being said, I do feel like it is. You gotta give it a little bit.
Yeah, you do have to give it props for like how it was made and stuff, which I definitely gave it. But
like it's made like it's authentic found footage. Like they're using the real people's names. You know, they're not actors. You know, like it's cool. That being said, what did you rate this movie for?
I rate it a 5.4.
Okay.
So I rated it a little bit better than Suspiria. Like, I felt like it was a fine film. Like, I mean, I think it's cool retrospect and like how it was done and stuff like that. Almost like The Birds. Like, you know, I didn't like The Birds as a movie at first. Yeah. But then, like, the more you would tell me about how it was created, like, I was like, oh, that's cool.
Okay.
So I feel like if we delved more into Blair Witch and how it was made, I would probably appreciate it a lot more. But I think it was just kind of a boring movie. I wouldn't watch it ever.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. I'm very interested in like the lore of it.
Yeah.
However, the movie itself kind of misses the mark.
I will say it does feel sort of realistic in how anticlimactic it would be to like go on a witch hunt like that. Does that make sense?
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if it is found footage.
It's not like super theatrical or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that's it. That's what you're going to get.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I gave it a 6.0 even.
Oh, okay.
Just a little higher than you.
A little higher than me. I mean, it makes sense. It's good.
It's just because it's a classic at this point.
Classic.
All right. Next up, movie 4. Jennifer's Body.
All right, and this movie, this movie came out in 2009. It was directed by Karen Kusama. It was directed by Karen Kusama, but written by Diablo Cody, and it's very evident that it is. This movie follows a high school hottie who is sacrificed to the devil, but she survives because she's so not a virgin. And then somehow she attains supernatural powers and a desire for human flesh that forces her into a run-in with her best friend.
Yes, her nerdy best friend.
Her nerdy best friend. Her naughty best friend.
Named Needy.
Yes, she is named Needy.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So you very much were looking forward to watching this movie.
Yes, I was really looking forward to it. I think for a long time, like me and you know, pretty much everyone else in the world, we had, specifically women, had such. I'm just saying. Had like such a vendetta against Jennifer, or not Jennifer,
against Megan Fox.
Yeah, against Megan Fox. So I like never wanted to watch this movie because I was like, fuck Megan Fox. She's hot, but she's not, or whatever.
Okay.
Anyways, so I never watched it when it came out. But then, you know, I grew up, became gay, and then everyone's like, Jennifer's Body, Jennifer's Body. And so now I'm like, I have to watch Jennifer's Body. It's like a classic.
Okay.
And so we watched it this year, and it was good.
It was good.
I liked it.
Okay, it was not what I was expecting.
Yeah, I feel like it was completely different than what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
But did you have issues with it?
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so I wrote down that the dialogue was not cute.
No, it was very cringy. There were like some classic lines that I think are like fun to say, but overall, nobody talked like that in high school. Literally nobody did. Yeah. And I feel like I had an inkling it was written by Diablo Cody, but I just felt like it did feel like Juno, though I think Juno was after this, right? Maybe. We'll figure it out.
Actually, I don't think so. I think Juno was like... Okay, so Juno came out in 2007?
Yes. And then this movie came out.
So this was like a sophomore movie.
Yes. Which really sucks for Diablo Cody. Because, like, dude, the writing in Juno is so good. And then I feel like in this one, it's just, like, really cringy.
So I did write down, if I didn't know it was Diablo Cody, because you mentioned that when we were watching it.
Right.
And I didn't know that. Mm-hmm. I would have thought, because this is what I did think while we were watching it, that it was someone trying to be like Diablo Cody.
That's what I felt like. Like, I felt like, I don't know, like it needed to be polished just a little bit more.
Yeah, I don't know.
Overall, I mean, I feel like the plot of the movie was really fun and, like, kind of, like, you know, like, different from what I've, like, seen and stuff like that.
Yeah, it was kind of like an action comedy.
Yeah.
With the guise of like a rom-com.
Yes. But it felt really rushed and not really well explained as far as... I feel like it was explained in like 5 minutes in the middle of the movie. You know?
Yeah.
Like, it makes no sense in the pacing of the movie. Also, like, I don't know. Like, I hated the band Low Shoulder. Like, first of all, that's a terrible name. And I feel like it's only called Low Shoulder because they had that sign at the end. And it's like, why? It makes no sense.
Yeah. The whole, like, fire thing was weird.
Fire? Oh, yeah. Just the way
like,
it just
bar
started up.
catching on fire?
Yeah.
It was almost like the band set the fire.
Yeah, they did.
They did?
Yeah.
Why?
Because they were trying to sacrifice this girl.
Why didn't they just kidnap her? Because that's what they did. Instead, they had to burn down the bar to kidnap the girl?
Well, they had to burn down the bar to be, like, the band that was there that survived in order for their single to get, like, super mega famous.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Dude,
also,
talking about that. Sorry. Okay, also.
No, go ahead.
The soundtrack for this movie slaps.
Okay. Also, there's a cameo in this movie by Burt Macklin.
Oh, yeah,
FBI.
Burt Macklin. This is, like, one of Chris Pratt's, like, first movies, I guess, that he's ever been in.
Really?
Fucking nasty. I don't know.
No, 5-year engagement has to be, like...
Oh. Mm-hmm. Wait,
he's, like, fat in 5-year engagement.
5-year engagement came out in, like, 2015.
No way, dude.
Yes, it did.
He's, like, fat in that movie.
No, Ryan. It came out in 2012.
Wow. All right. Yeah, it was just so cheesy, dude.
It was really cheesy, but I had fun. You know, I had fun. I felt like it was very girl-oriented.
Yeah. So, there were issues with it. Mm-hmm. So, like, Jennifer leaves this dead body, like, in the woods, and there's a deer there, and the deer is, like, eating on this corpse.
Yeah, it's like, deers don't do that.
Yeah, deers don't do that. Also,
demonic deer.
You said that the door opened before he put the key in?
Yeah, okay, so Needy was, like, running away from, she was running away from, what's her name? Jennifer? The whole fucking movie. She was running away from Jennifer, and she like got to her house and she was like trying to put the key in, but I'm pretty sure the door opened before she even got the key inside of the lock. So okay. I'm pretty sure we can put a clip right here to see if I'm right.
Oh, definitely. Also, this is for sure. There's a time lapse of like this memorial for one of the dead high schoolers, and they have like these flowers that are wilting in the time lapse. But there's also candles, and the candles are still burning while the flowers are wilted to death.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know, like the pacing was just weird.
Also, that dress that she wore at the end,
fucking nasty,
hideous.
Like no real person would even wear that dress. No one. Was it her mom's dress? I don't know. She looked disgusting. Yeah.
Yeah. So, all in all, I gave this movie a 5.4.
Wow! I am not that far from you.
Okay.
I gave this movie a 6.5 because I mean I can tell when a movie's not good, but I can have a good time. Okay.
Okay.
Just because I like it doesn't mean I'm gonna give it a high rating. Yeah, it was. I'll have fun. We'll like watch it again as like a movie night, but yeah.
Yeah.
But did you have a favorite part?
No.
Well, my favorite part was Jennifer. Dude, she's just so fun. Like, I like the idea of her just like finding new powers. That she's like, oh, cool, I can levitate. Oh, look, I can stab myself. I don't know.
Okay.
She was really hot.
Yeah, I am not as entranced with Megan Fox as you are.
Movie number 5, Lamb. All right. Let's get into this.
Lamb is in theaters now. It is an Icelandic movie. It is directed by Valdimar Johansson. It is about a couple in Iceland who run a sheep farm, and one of the sheep gives birth, and they end up raising this lamb baby as if it was their own human child.
Yep.
Which, yes, everyone does find that very strange, including, at the very end of the movie, the father of the lamb baby.
Yes.
Yes.
So this is like a baby body with a lamb head and like one lamb arm.
Yeah. It's kind of cute how the arms.
Okay.
Because the lamb arm is longer than the human arm.
No, the human arm is longer. Because you'll see his little hand, but then his little hoof is like kind of in the sweater.
Well, the fact that her name is Ada? Yeah. The fact that her arms are different lengths is kind of funny.
I mean, I guess. I don't know. I feel like, we've come so far in CGI, and like, it's just bad. It's not good.
Yeah. So
nothing really happens in this movie.
This
I feel
is accurate.
Like we spent 25 minutes to get to the part where the baby lamb is finally born.
Does it have 3 acts?
I have no idea.
Then something comes up. Chapters. 3 chapters.
Yeah, 3 chapters.
Yeah. Nothing happens in chapter 1.
Mm-mm.
Nothing happens in chapter 2.
Mm-mm.
And nothing happens for like 99% of chapter 3.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Like, so it's set in like this very like beautiful Icelandic valley in the mountains and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I mean, you are kind of like in awe of this scenic view for like 2 seconds, and then you're like, okay, now I'm fucking bored. And there's nothing to look at because we're just stuck here in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And
they don't go anywhere.
They don't do anything.
The most exciting thing that happens is
the drunk brother comes.
Yeah, this guy's brother comes.
And he's like, that baby's fucking weird. And they're like, shut up.
Yeah. And then he does, you think he's going to go shoot this baby.
Right. Old Yeller style.
Yeah. Anyway, he does it.
Yeah, he ends up falling in love with this baby lamb.
Yeah.
And then they are like...
And then their tractor breaks.
Yeah, they're a weird little throuple. Like, I think the wife had like a previous relation with the brother of the husband, and they're like weirdly.
It's weird.
Yeah.
It's like they're the only 3 people they know.
Probably. So I said, I paid money to just eat nachos for 106 minutes.
Yeah, that's about right.
That's how I felt about this movie. It was also the first time I've ever watched like a sex scene with other people that I didn't know. Like there was like maybe 5 people in the theater, us included. I never want to experience that again. I already don't like sex scenes, and the sex scenes in public seem just so weird to me.
So this was very strange.
Also unneeded.
Yeah, this is very strange because I've seen tons of sex scenes in movies, right?
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason, during this sex scene, I was like, how are they filming this right now? Like, is he like actually on top of her and like?
No, they probably like stuck it to the camera ceiling.
It just seemed so, Yeah.
He goes down on her. You know, that's progressive. But
It was the slowest movie with 0 payoff.
yeah, those no.
I hated how little was explained.
I hated how little was happening.
I hated the scene in which she's like, I'm going out, watch the baby. And he's like, no, I'm going to go do this. And she's like, no, just watch the baby. And he's like, oh, okay, I will. And then he leaves the baby. And he like leaves the door wide open. And then they lose the baby somehow. And then they just find it somehow. And it's like, what? This scene is pointless.
Yeah. It's really fucking weird. Apparently the wife had also had like maybe miscarriages or where the baby dies like early because she went to the grave.
Yeah, there's the grave.
Mm-hmm.
So to spoil the end of this movie,
Yes.
We see like this half man, half ram, like the ram god.
Yeah.
Who is the father of this half lamb, half human baby.
Yes. The wife killed the mother.
Yeah, the mother was like an actual sheep.
Yeah, who kept like trying to talk to the baby through the house, and she was like, "Dude, shut the fuck up."
So do you remember the first opening scene?
No.
It's like a snowstorm.
Oh yeah.
And all we see are like the sheeps, and then there's like the heavy breathing. And it's like first person from this like ram god guy. And what I got was he's like coming to impregnate one of the sheep.
Oh, okay.
That's what happens when the movie starts.
Right.
And then I don't know what happens between that and then them giving birth to this half lamb, half human baby, and then just being like, oh, this is ours. This is our baby now.
Yeah.
It's fucking weird, dude.
And then it jumps like 6 years later or something.
I don't think it's 6 years later.
Well, I don't know how fast baby lambs grow.
So, I didn't know the difference between a lamb and a sheep. A lamb is just a sheep that's less than a year old.
Oh.
That's all.
So it's less than a year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, save your money.
Yeah. I mean, this movie was released by A24, which, I mean, I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, A24, that must be good. Don't fucking watch this movie.
It's pretty critically acclaimed.
This movie?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
God, dude.
Beats me. What did you give this movie, Pilar?
Oh, no, I want you to go first.
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
Okay. So, all right. So I had the same reaction, or you had the same reaction to this movie as I had to Hereditary. Do you remember? You said something along the lines of like, well, that was a movie made in 2021 or something like that.
No, you said that. About Hereditary.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I said that about this movie.
I said the same thing to Hereditary the first time I saw it. You said that to Lamb. It's kind of the same thing. I gave it... I have a feeling like this is too high. I gave it a 3.9.
That is too high. All right. Do you want to explain yourself anymore?
I was just looking at other ratings. I would rather watch this than Sucker Punch. I would.
Damn. Sucker Punch must really suck for you.
Yeah, it does.
Oh my god. Alright. So in order for me to explain my rating, I'm just going to go down my list. Alright. Characters, I gave it a 2 because I fucking hated everyone. I hated the lamb, I hated the wife, I hated the husband, I hated the brother.
Oh, real quick.
Uh-huh.
So there's this like, I believe it was with There Will Be Blood that kind of started this. Like, how long can you go without having any dialogue?
Yeah.
And they fucking forced the shit out of that.
Yeah. Plot, 0. Originality, 0. You know how many like half baby things I've seen? Dude, 13 Year, best movie.
Dang.
Pace, 0. Fucking too slow. Too long. Edit, 0. The whole movie could have been edited out. Setting, dude, fucking 0. I have no idea where they are. Nothing's believable. I don't, like, there's no world building.
Yeah.
That's the thing that I hate the most. Like, there's no lore that's being explained about the half goat ram god. Like,
yeah,
nothing is explained.
You know, now I'm thinking about it, there's like some radio playing.
Yeah, but it's like
initially, and I have no idea what the point was of that was.
Yeah. Sound, I gave it a 6. I think the soundtrack was pretty good, and then I felt like the sounds of like the goats, of like the tractor and stuff, that was fine.
Yeah.
Cinema, 2. Fucking was impressed by it for 2 seconds, and then I hated everything. Dialogue, dude, fucking 0. They didn't talk, and when they did, it was like fucking irrelevant, stupid. Nothing was said. Enjoyment, 0. You know what that rounds out to be?
What?
A fucking 1, dude.
We got our first 1 out of 10.
Dude, I hated this movie.
Man.
I hated this movie.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah.
All right.
Well.
Movie 6.
Halloween 2. Alright, so Michael Myers is back at it again as he stalks Laurie all the way to the hospital where he continues his murderous rampage.
Yes. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, it's a pretty simple movie.
Yeah.
I think it's always a good time to watch Halloween. The first one was really good. I was not let down by this second one. I personally really like where it just picks up exactly where it left off. Yeah. I think that's really fucking cool.
Yeah, it like replays the end of the first movie a little bit and just picks right up. And just picks right up. And we're like in first person from like Michael Myers' perspective.
Michael Myers, yeah.
And I don't know what it was, but like I just loved living in that space. Like that atmosphere of this movie.
Hear him breathe.
Like it's Halloween night. He is like, you're seeing from his perspective, him trying to stay in the shadows. There's like this dog barking. Then he's like, I have to get another knife or something. Like,
he like goes into somebody else's house. He like steals a knife, and then you like see him like behind them, and then we go back to his perspective.
He's like picking up on the news that's going on.
That he's like wanted and stuff.
Yeah, like he can tell from like the news on the radio and on TV and stuff that he hears as he enters these people's houses, like where the police are.
Right.
And where they're expecting him to be and stuff. I don't know, like from the very beginning of the movie to when the police come to like, the one of the police's like daughters was murdered or something. Yeah. Like from the very beginning to that scene, I love that atmosphere.
Right.
Like, I don't remember seeing another movie that feels like that. Honestly.
Yeah.
So
where you're
good.
Just like, I don't know, I feel like you feel claustrophobic, but then you see everything that's going on. Yeah. So it's like, I don't know, such a weird position to be in. And then, dude, Laurie is fucking, like, okay, so we find out. Should I spoil this?
Yeah, I think it's okay. Yeah. It came out in 1981.
So we find out that Laurie is actually adopted, and she's Michael Myers' other sister that he didn't murder.
Yeah.
And so that's the whole reason that he's after her specifically.
He's trying to murder her on the anniversary.
Right. And dude, you can tell that they got the same genes because Laurie cannot fucking die. Dude, okay, so whenever, I don't know, anytime Michael Myers is like killing anytime. It's like a new way of killing, and I love that. Like somebody gets their face melted off in hot ass water. Somebody fucking is like, their blood is dripping down because they have like one of the IV things just all loose in their veins.
Just bleeding out through the IV.
This other woman gets stabbed with a scalpel and then it's just like...
levitates.
Yeah. Somebody gets stabbed in the eye with a syringe. Yeah. Oh god, dude, that's so bad.
Yeah, he's pretty creative.
Dude, it was just, he's like just popping off with all these different ways to kill people.
Yeah.
And then, dude, he gets shot like several times in this movie. And dude, he just gets back up. That is terrifying. Like, I don't know what I would do.
There's this character named Jimmy.
Oh god.
He is so pathetic. He doesn't get murdered by Michael Myers. Instead, he finds this body bleeding out on a gurney. There's a pool of blood on the floor, and he slips on the blood and like lands on his head and gets concussed.
Yeah.
And then he just passes out in the car.
Oh my god.
So pathetic.
Oh yeah, dude. One of my the scenes that I'm just like bewildered by was when we get to the hospital. There's this kid who has a razor blade in his mouth because somebody put a razor blade in his candy, dude. Man. And they were like, "Oh, just wait in the corner. The doctor will be with you soon." And I'm like, "This kid has a razor blade in his mouth."
And the doctor's drunk.
Oh, the doctor's drunk.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that this movie takes place like in the late 70s, and nobody locks their doors. There's like a literal insane asylum patient, like on the loose, murdering people. And people are just like going about their lives like it ain't nothing.
Yeah.
Anyway, it is just a different world than the one that we live in today.
Yeah, dude. I don't know how people lived without phones. Like, that's crazy to me.
Yeah.
All right, two things. I loved how the doctor, psychologist of Michael Myers,
Dr. Loomis.
Yeah, he was just blasting. If he thought he saw Michael Myers, he was ready. Everybody's like, "Put that gun away." He's like, "Nah, I gotta go." He gotta go. And then they did, classic Halloween theme. Bum, 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 bum. Slaps. They had a higher pitched, faster version this time. I mean, it's still pretty good, but it's not as good as a classic.
Okay.
But that's all I want to say as far as that goes.
All right. I gave my rating first last time, so what did you rate Halloween 2?
I rated this movie 8.4.
Okay.
That's pretty good. You know, it's a simple plot. I don't want to be like, "Oh, this movie's great." But, I mean, I had a fun time, but...
Yeah. I think this movie is a good time.
Yeah.
There are a lot of, plot holes. Like, there's the one guy that has a Michael Myers suit on, basically.
Oh, yeah. He just blows up.
Who gets smashed between a police car. And it's like American Psycho. Like, the cars just explode and he's just I don't get it. And they examine the body and it's burnt to a crisp and it's not Michael Myers and I don't know.
Yeah,
there's a lot of things.
A lot of things. Yeah. But we're willing to excuse it because it's fun.
Yeah, it's such a good time. I gave it an 8.1, so I'm almost right there.
Good. Yeah. All right, cool. All right. So that's pretty much it for all these movies. We had a good time watching some of them. We had a time watching some others.
A long time watching them.
Yeah, a long time watching some others.
All right, so of these 6 movies, which one is the least spooky?
Obviously Lamb, dude. That movie was scary boring.
Okay.
What about for you?
I thought Jennifer's Body was not spooky at all.
No, it's really funny.
Yeah.
Dumb.
Yeah, it was a fun movie.
Yeah.
Okay. So which one was the spookiest?
Oh, so scariest for me definitely has to be Halloween 2.
Okay.
Classic.
How close was it between Halloween 2 and His House?
Well, His House is terrifying. But scary, spooky is Halloween.
Okay, all right. I give it to you. If you haven't seen Halloween or Halloween 2, definitely take the time to watch them. If you have already seen the Halloween movies, though, I highly recommend watching His House.
Yes.
This Halloween spooky season. because it is very scary.
Terrifying.
Yeah. And a very good movie.
Yes, very good.
All right, so that pretty much does it for our Halloween Spooktacular. Thank you so much for watching us. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Like the video, and the most important thing is to
share us with your friends.
Yeah, let your friends.
Sharing is caring.
Yeah.
Treat yourself to sharing us to some friends.
Yeah. There you go.
Don't forget, you can also follow us on Instagram. There will be podcasts, and on Twitter we are Pod from a Basket.
Yes. Look out for us on Spotify, Google Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts from.
No parting words this time. We're gonna treat you guys to some really funny reviews from Letterboxd. So.
Yes. Yeah. With that, happy Halloween,
Happy
everyone.
Halloween!
Happy Halloween!
Recognizing Matt Smith was the scariest part. Pretty good movie if you like boring shit that sucks.
It's maybe good that these guys got lost and eaten or whatever, because before stuff starts going wrong, it seems like their documentary was probably going to suck. They didn't even do a wardrobe test on Chris Pratt. He just showed up like that.
This is something Joaquin Phoenix and Rooney Mara would do.
Joaquin. Nothing in this franchise will ever top Loomis causing that poor kid to be hit by a car and burnt alive.